Welcome to JobBridge's Japanese Language Training Center. We provide an online tutorial for people who aspires to work in Japan. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep you updated on our lessons to help you master Japanese language in no time.
Hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we'll be discussing lesson 35. Now, lesson 35 will be divided into two parts. Now, you already know why we are dividing the videos or the lessons into two parts, right? Either it's too long or the topic is quite, how should we say this? Muzukashi? Difficult? So, let's start. Now, in lesson 35, we'll be discussing how to make a conditional form of the verb. Again, conditional. So, conditional form of the verbs. Remember, verbs are divided into three groups, right? Group 1, 2, and 3. Let's start off with group 1 first. So for group 1, change the last sound of the mass form into the sound of the line and attach ba. Again, change the last sound of the mass form into the sound of the line and attach ba. Let's look at these examples. So first, we have ikimasu. Its conditional form is ikeba. Again, ikeba. Changing the last sound of the mass form of ikimasu into the line and attaching ba. So ikimasu will become ikeba. Now yomimasu, to read, will become yobeba. Again, yomeba. Yomimasu, yomeba. Now nomimasu, to drink, nomeba. Again, nomeba. And kirimasu, to cut, will become kireba. Again, kireba. Now let's move on to group 2. In group 2, attaching reba to the mass form. Easy, right? Example, tabemasu, to eat, will become tabereba. Again, tabereba. Now mimasu, to see, will become mireba. Again, mireba. Now for group 3, kimasu becomes kureba and shimasu becomes sureba. Again, shimasu, sureba, and kimasu, kureba. Now, for example, group 3, benkyou shimasu will become benkyou sureba, sentaku shimasu will become sentaku sureba, and soji shimasu, sentaku sureba. Now, remember, convert the negative form of a verb. Example, ikanai for the negative form of ikimasu or ikemasen, ikanai. To convert it to a conditional form, add nakereba to the nai form. Again, add nakereba to the nai form. So for group 1, ikimasu, ikeba, the negative form, ikanakereba. Again, ikimasu, conditional form in the negative form is ikanakereba. Now, for yomimasu, its negative conditional form is yomenakereba. Again, yomenakereba. I'm sorry, that's yomanakereba. Again, yomanakereba. Now, for nomimasu, its negative conditional form, nomanakereba. Nomanakereba. From nomanai, then to make it a conditional form, negative, nomanakereba. Now, kirimasu, negative form is kiranai. So, it will become kiranakereba. Now, for group 2, it's as easy as tabemasu, tabenai, tabenakereba, and mimasu, minai, minakereba. Got that? Now, same thing with group 3. Kimasu, negative form is konai, and then negative conditional form, konakereba. And then, shimasu, shinakereba. Like, benkyou shimasu, benkyou shinai, benkyou shinakereba. Got that, everyone? Now, in the conditional form, not only the verbs have a conditional form. In this one, even the e-adjective, na-adjectives, and the noun has a conditional form. So let's start off with e-adjectives. For e-adjectives, change the last e of the e-adjectives into kereba. Again, change the last e of the e-adjectives into kereba. Example, oki, oki kereba. Again, oki kereba. That's the conditional form. Now, chisai, chisa kereba. Again, chisa kereba. And then akai, red, aka kereba. Again, aka kereba. Then for aoi, blue, ao kereba. Again, ao kereba. Now, na-adjectives. Delete the last na of the na-adjectives and attach nara. Again, delete the last na of the na-adjectives and attach nara. Example, kirei na, pretty or clean, will become kirei nara. Again, kirei nara. Now, yumei, famous, yumei na. So, it will become yumei nara. Again, yumei nara. Now, for noun, it's just as easy as attaching nara to the noun. Attaching nara to the noun. Tabemono nara. See? Tabemono nara. The noun here is the tabemono, which is the food. Then, to make it conditional, just add nara. What else can we have here? How about hana? Noun hana, then attach nara to make it conditional. Hana nara. What else? How about rice cooker? What is the Japanese term of rice cooker? Right, suihanki. Now to make it conditional form, add nara at the end. So it'll become suihanki nara. Wakarimashita minasan? Now let's start to use the conditional form. What is this conditional form anyway? So with the use of the conditional form, the former part of the sentence describes the requirements needed for an event or occurrence to manifest itself. When the subject of the former part is the same as that of the latter, you cannot use verbs containing volition in both parts of the sentence at the same time. Now, there are a few ways to use a conditional form sentence. First one is when describing the requirements needed for a certain event to manifest itself. Again, when describing the requirements needed for a certain event to manifest itself. Like the condition that you need, alright, for something to happen. Example, botan o oseba mado ga akimasu. Again, botan o oseba mado ga akimasu. If you push the button, the window will open. So in this one, or in this sentence, or in this example, the conditional verb is the oseba from oshimasu. So the condition here is that you have to push first the button for the window to be open. Okay? The requirement is to push the button for a certain event to manifest, which is the opening of the window. Another example. Kare ga ikeba, watashi mo ikimasu. Again, kare ga ikeba, watashi mo ikimasu. Now, this is a common sentence among us, right? If he goes, I will go too. So in this one, the requirement is for he to go for the speaker to go to. That's just it. Okay? The requirement is for him or the another guy to come before the speaker would go to. Another example. いい天気なら向こうに島が見えます。Again, いい天気なら向こうに島が見えます。Now, in this example, we use a noun. So, the noun here is the 天気 or the weather. Okay, and then we add nara. So, in English, when it's fine or when the weather is fine, an island can be seen over there. So, the condition in this sentence is for the weather to be fine before you can see the island over there. わかりました皆さん。Easy? Now, another use of the conditional form is when describing the speaker's judgment on what the other person has said of the situation. Again, describing the speaker's judgment on what the other person has said of the situation. I'm sorry for the typographical error over there. So, let's look at examples. 他に意見がなければこれで終わりましょう。Again, 他に意見がなければこれで終わりましょう。If you don't have any other opinions, let's close this meeting now. See, in here, the speaker's judgment is that since no one is giving their opinion anymore, he would close the meeting, or the speaker would close the meeting. Another one. 明日までに Actually, this is a conversation. 明日までにレポートを出さなければなりませんか? Again, 明日までにレポートを出さなければなりませんか? Or, do I have to hand in the report by tomorrow? Listen to the answer. 無理なら金曜日までに出してください. Again, 無理なら金曜日までに出してください. If it's possible, hand it in by this Friday. You see, in this situation, the speaker, based on the question, okay, the speaker kind of knows that it is impossible, okay, for the person that he or she is talking to submit it by tomorrow. So, based on that judgment, the speaker then decided to, let the listener hand it over until Friday, if it's possible. Alright? This is based on the judgment on what the other person's situation based on what he or she said. わかりました皆さん? Now, I know that we've studied similar expressions that you have learned from the previous lessons, right? The construction or the conditional form or sentence is kind of similar to a few sentence patterns before. Do you know or do you remember which sentence patterns it is kind of similar? The first one, the to. Remember this one? To. To is used when the result derived from the action described before to is inevitable. It is predictable event or an unavoidable fact. To cannot be used when it is or when it comes to the speaker's wishes, judgment, permission, hopes, requests, etc. Why? Why cannot we use it, or why can't we use this to sentence pattern when we wish or want something? Because, as we've said, to describes something that happens inevitable. It is used to sentence or actions that has an inevitable result. Example. ここを押すとドアが開きます。ここを押すとドアが開きます。Now in this one, if you can remember, we use to because when you press somewhere or press here, the door will automatically open. it is inevitable that it will open. Another one, if you want to use the conditional form, which might mean the same thing as the first example, you can also use the ba. Koko wo oseba doa ga akimasu. Same, right? Koko wo oseba doa ga akimasu. If you press here, the door will open. So see, the other one is the to sentence pattern, while the other one is the conditional pattern. Now, another sentence pattern that is quite similar to the conditional form is the tara. Again, tara. This one, we've learned this from way back lesson 25. So yes, as you've learned in lesson 25, tara has two usages. It is a conditional expression and it indicates that an action or state will occur or appear when certain conditions have been met, just like the conditional form. Example, Chikan ga nakattara terebi o mimasen. Chikan ga nakattara terebi o mimasen. If I don't have time, I will not watch television. Now, take a look at the example or the second example. This one, same meaning with the first example of first sentence, but using the conditional form of the verb. Chikan ga nakereba terebi o mimasen. Again, chikan ga nakereba terebi o mimasen. Same thing, right, in English? If I don't have time, I will not watch television. Wakarimashita minasan?
Alright, that's just it for today. See you on our next videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep you updated on our lessons so you can master Japanese language in no time.